Right. Good morning once again. So it's another Python Foundations class. Today we just want to play around with what we've learned, what we've been learning this week, uh, which is Python data type and variables. So first, we want to make a simple game with Python. It's called Mad Libs game. Mad Libs game. All right. So let me share my screen right now so that we get started. All right. All right. So we're gonna make a Mad Libs game. Mad Libs games is actually a game of words. It's a game of words. Right. So the first thing I want to do is okay. I want to show to the user that okay. This is currently loading. Okay. So Python, I can just say Mad Libs game with Python. All right. So I want to ask the user, give me some words and I will make you a funny story. All right. No, not there. Here. Okay. So I want to get inputs from user. Okay. All right. So I want something like an adjective. I want an adjective. So adjective one equals what are these showing? Adjective one equals input. Enter an adjective. Okay. Then none1 equals input. Enter a noun. What's going on here? This, all right, we're back. Enter a noun. Okay, this noun I want here is a plural noun. Enter a plural noun. Okay, then I want a verb. Okay, I want a verb. Verb 1 equals input. Enter a verb ending in ing. Okay, then I want the place. Place equals input. Enter a place. Lagos. Well, we could just say in Nigeria. Maybe a city or a state. Okay, then we have person, input. Enter a famous person. Enter a famous person. Okay, then food. Enter a food. Then adjective 2. No, I forgot to add my input. Input. Enter another adjective. Okay, then the verb. Sure. The verb. Enter another verb. Okay. So now that I've collected all the inputs, let me create my story. Right? Let me use a formatted string. Okay. All right. So last week, I'm gonna put the adjective here, the adjective 1. Adjective 1. Okay, robot. Went to a place. So these ones I'm putting in the brackets are the variables I've once declared. So last week, a adjective 1 robot, whatever adjective 1 is, went to a place to learn Python. Instead of coding, it started verb 1. That's the verb ending with ing, with a group of noun 1, okay, the group of noun 1, okay, then their teacher was, let's slot in another variable here, person 1, okay. The teacher was person, that's the variable here, was person, and he was eating. We have already declared food. He was eating food during class. The lesson was so, adjective 2. Lesson was so, adjective 2. That the robot decided to, that's verb 2, all the way on. Instead of taking a bus. The end. Okay, and after that, I'll have this my 3 quotes to close the formatted string. Now, I failed to assign this story to a variable, so I might not be able to access it if I don't. So let me assign it to a variable, story. Story equals this. So let me print story. Print story. First, let me run. Okay. Oh, invalid syntax. Oh, yeah, I think I know what's wrong here. There's not supposed to be any space after the F for the formatted string to work. So Mad Libs game with Python. Give me some words and I will make you a funny story. Adjective. Enter an adjective. Okay. Funny. Enter a plural noun. Okay. Students. Enter a verb ending with ing. dancing. Enter a place in Nigeria. Ogbomosho. Enter a famous person. He's a famous person now. Don't know. Elon Musk. Enter a food. Rice. Enter another adjective. Interesting. Enter another verb. There's I noticed something around here, so let me just come over here and correct it and run the code all over again. Alright, so enter an adjective. What's the adjective I used? Fun. A plural noun. Okay, students. A verb ending with ing. Dancing. A place in Nigeria, we have Ogbomosho. Then we have a famous person, we have Elon Musk. A food, we have rice. Another adjective, okay. You have interesting. Another verb. Love. So it says, alright. So something must be wrong somewhere. Something must be wrong somewhere. Oh, I got exactly what was wrong. So over here, I was just using these variables with the space as if it was a normal printing. So this, whenever you use the formatted string, you use curly braces, not the normal brackets. You use curly braces. So use curly braces. Use curly braces. So I'm replacing all the parentheses with curly braces, and I think I am done. So whenever you use the formatted string, the F string, you make sure that the variables that you are inserting have to be in curly braces like this, and then we can rerun that all over again. So of course, when you run your code, you see when you have errors. Or now, and this is not a syntax error actually, like we had in yesterday's class, that this is a semantic error, because it prints what I want, but it does not make sense. So let me run it again. So an adjective, I think the other time I used funny. Plural noun, I used students. Then a verb ending ing, I used dancing. A place in Nigeria, I used Ogbomosho. I can use different sets of data, but I just want to use this and see what I'm gonna get. A food, I got rice. Another adjective, okay. Interesting. Another verb, run. Last week, a funny robot went to Ogbomoso to learn Python. Instead of coding, it started dancing with a group of students. Their teacher was Elon Musk, and he was eating rice during class. The lesson was so interesting that the robot decided to run all the way home instead of taking a bus. The end. you see that this here is actually a pretty funny story, right? So that's what we call the Mad Libs game. It just helps us to like test our variable knowledge of variables and the likes. It helps us to do that. Let's see, can we do one more thing before we go today? We'll do one more thing before we go today. Okay. So let me do a kind of student biodata. Okay, let me print student biodata. Students biodata. All right. So I'm getting a series of input here. So I'm gonna say name, or not just name now. Let me say student name. So student name student name equals import enter your name, then student age import enter your age, student male equals import enter your mail, enter your email address, enter your email address. Okay, what else can we collect? Student level, because enter your level, enter your level, then department, let's just keep it like this, enter your department. Okay, so biodata equals hello. I'm gonna concatenate hello with name. Okay, then below is your biodata. So and then I'm gonna add a new line. we have this new line character, or is it? Yeah, it is backslash n. So the new line, this backslash n adds a new line after this hello, so that whatever is coming after will go on a new line. Okay, or you can just use a separate print statement for that. Okay, so and after the new line I'm adding, okay, all right, so from here I could just have name, okay, email, name, name, student name, plus the new line character, plus the new line character, then the next thing I'm adding is what now? Age, student age, okay, plus the new line character. Then I'm adding what again? Male, students male, or simply let me just write email. Email. Email, and I'm concatenating that with students mail, students mail, and the new line character, the new line character. So what's the next one now? Level, level, adding that to student level, and after that the new line character, the new line character, and after the new line character I add the final thing, which is the department. Okay, department, okay, I had student department that I stored. Now I did not store department in full. I stored dept, dept, so I've got to be careful with that. Then department like that. So I think I'm done showing all the students data. So the next thing I want to do now is a new line character. Remember, it's backslash, then this small n, small letter n like that. You don't use capital N, and you see that it is shown differently when I use it. It's shown in orange here. Depends on the kind of text editor you are using. So slash n here like that. Now what I want to say is that now let me use two of the new line characters. So two of it, then I'll say welcome to school. So let's see what we've got. Now I have to print, remember? So let me just print biodata. Print biodata. And I want to comment I want to comment this. So I want to comment some of this. Is the hash get student data. I comment this again. Store the data in a variable print the data. So let's run that. Student's name. Okay, student's name is Michael. Student's age is 12. Email address. Okay, student's email address is mike@nomail.com. Okay, it says name is not defined. So line 12. Oh yeah, so that's why sometimes when you run your code you get errors. Now when you get errors and you check your code again, that helps you to learn. Actually, the process of trying to find out the error in your code is known as debugging. So getting an error in your code is totally fine. So you can see here I declared student's name, but here I'm referencing name. So Python does not recognize where. So Python is trying to recall where has name been mentioned, where has name NAME been mentioned, and it checks through all this. Remember, it runs line by line, so it doesn't see name. So that is why it's throwing this error. So I will replace that with student name, just like I have there, student name. So I'm going to clear this and run again. So student name, Michael, age, let's say 16, email address mike@nomail.com. Okay, it says biodata is not defined. Oh, again, this biodata here is different from this biodata here, so that is not gonna work. That's why it is good to stick with one acceptable. It's good to stick to one way of writing your code. I mostly prefer to use lowercase and underscores. So let me clear this and run. Okay, this should work fine now. Michael, 16. This is that. Michael at no mail. Say hello Michael, below is your biodata. So name Michael, age 16, and we have it like that. Oh, the department. There's an issue here. Okay, this is the department here, student department. Let me rerun this and see what's going on. Okay, student name. Oh yeah. Now you can just let me just go with this before I go back to the code and make the corrections. Let me show you what is going wrong. I entered name, I entered age, I entered email address, which is mike@nomail. Now it does not allow me to enter student level and student department, and it goes straight to print. Then it shows this, enter your level. Now I did not use input functions for these two, so it's not going to ask for them. It's just going to assume that okay, whatever is here. And what at this point, student level, what was assigned to student level is enter your level, and what was assigned to department is enter your department. So it takes this as the default content for this variable student level. So I'm supposed to put input here. Supposed to put input there, okay, and here, and we should be good to go. Okay, and I want to do something here. Okay, data equals, I want I want it to start on a new line, so let me put that /n like that. So remember the backslash n gives it, puts it on a new line, takes your content to a new line. So let me run it over again. Still using Michael, age 16, email address mike@mail. Let me just use that. Level, now it's asking for level 200. Department, computer science. It says hello Michael, below is your biodata. Name Michael, age 16, email, so on and so forth, like that. Welcome to school. All right, so this is pretty good. It's pretty good. So there's like 2 or 3 things I want to still point out. Now, if it is possible to convert whatever the user inputs to different cases, like for instance, if I say name equals inputs, enter your name, I say print name. Now imagine I have something like this. So I'm going to get whatever the user inputs, that's exactly what gets printed, right? But normally we know that names are ought to be written with starting with capital letter. So you can change and you can transform whatever the user inputs. So now whenever the user enters name, it is possible for you to add dot, something like this. We have dot title, dot upper, and so on and so forth. Now dot title makes sure that dot title converts the whatever the user enters to title case, meaning that it will start the first letter. It will use the first letter will be a capital letter. That's just it. But remember to put this open and close brackets at the back. If I refuse to do that, let's see what happens. Now you see, okay, so let me just do this. I run it now. So can you see it works? But because I didn't put these 2 brackets at first, it did not work. So you have to put, because this is a function, is a kind of function too, right? No, we call it method, but it's a kind of function, so you have to put the 2 brackets there. So you can also change to upper if you like, upper. So if I have it like this, so it changes everything to uppercase. So you can use that. That can be useful sometimes. So that can be useful. All right, that can be useful. So the last thing I want to show you today is multi-line comments. Let's assume that let's bring one of our previous code back. Now I have these lines of code, and I want to write some other lines of code again, and I don't want it to interfere with this. The other time I mentioned single line comment, which is hash. Now this hash only comments everything on a line. It's the comment starts at the beginning of the line and ends at the end of the line. It doesn't extend to the next line. That's why these places are not commented. But it's possible to comment everything in it is possible to comment more than one block. So that is multi-line comment or block comments. So use triple quotes for that. The moment I put the triple quotes, see all this becomes green. So it's turning them to comments. You can use the single kind of quotes or the double kind of quotes, but it has to be 3. And wherever this ends is where the comment ends. For instance, if I still put any line of code here, it will still continue the commenting. But if I end it here, then I can continue coding here. Now I can say name equals input, what is your name? This should be a question mark. What is your name? Print name. What is your name? So I can just enter it and it prints my name. But what if I did not comment these lines of code? What if I didn't comment them? What if I didn't comment them and I just start writing code here? You see, it's going to run from the beginning of this place because Python runs line by line. But the moment I already comment this, and I stop it just before my next lines of code and I run it, then it skips all this and comes here. So Python skips anything that you call a comment. Now these triple quotes can also be used as a doc string. Actually, it can be used as a dot string. Alright, like I used the other time, the formatted string, and then it can be used in documentation of functions. We'll talk about that in when it's time. So, but we have come to the end of the class for today. So, I hope you have gained one or two things. So, remember, you can't understand the concept unless you practice it over and over, right? You can't understand unless you practice over and over. So become an expert. To become an expert, you practice daily. You practice coding daily. You take up new projects, work on them. You can always submit whatever you did, even if it's outside the assignment. You can always do that. And the assignments have been published. If you are having any issues concerning that, reach out. Right. So see you in the next class.